Okay, let's give this another look here on times of anticipation and massive curiosity. XRP, although it's forming a really bearish formation here in the 4-hour time frame, I gotta say that sometimes these formations don't have a lot of validity. How can this man say that it does not have validity when it clearly looks like a textbook example of head and shoulders? Okay, well, one of the reasons is because there may be confusion on this. Number one, head and shoulders usually form on the top of trends, right? So this arguably is a potential top of a trend, or is it actually the center of one, or is it the bottom of one? Because the closure of this candle here, the closures of both of those candles there, you have a closing basis on the red and an opening basis on the green, and this looks like it could have started forming there. So it's not natural to see these formations kind of build there. And if we give a quick look to your USDT, your tether dominance, it looks like we're at a point of resistance here. So if it is in fact that we are at a point of resistance and we're, facing this little bit of a pump to the upside, then that's actually making me feel that your head and shoulders formation on this 4-hour time frame for XRP could be a bear trap or some kind of liquidity grab. I mean, so far, the targets that we talked about just yesterday, right, for this for this session here, our resistance has worked out nicely, and from the support area, we bounced really cool, resisted all this, right, and then we came back down, and we're sitting at this entry area again. This time with a higher low. Now, I still have to say, okay, so let's measure the moves, right? Let's just catch the bear side. We're just gonna be ready. We'll measure the bear side, and then everything, and then we'll know the bull side as well, and everything will be cool. But before we do that, guys, please do me the favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, coming at you here, 10:22 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, October 15th. Spot price action on XRP is currently at 241 in the zone that we spoke of just yesterday. Now, let's just impose those targets to the downside. Let's just say that we did have the neckline figured, right? So we'll do something like this here. Right, and we'll apply the price objective, right? So we'll just do it here traditionally, and I gotta say that it might. I think I would have to favor it just like I would have to favor it just like that. Screw it. All right, so we take this and we apply it to the center of the right hand shoulder, and this looks like it would have a target to around the areas of 210. So hard targets on that 210 would it's not impossible, but I will have to mention it here. We're going to validate this though. Should it have validation? That's the whole premise here. All right. So let's go ahead and try to tie it alongside the most confluent area that we can find, and in areas too that this could maybe cause an invalidation of continuation to the downside, which I think could start. Let me see. Yeah, I think it could be right about these two targets here. So I would. Okay, okay. So we have a macro. We have like more of a macro bottom here. So let's go ahead and identify that first. It's like split the difference here. It really is super tight. So let's go ahead and leave at about this point here. Yeah, so it would be roughly around 213.52 to 208, which is very close enough to that bottom side of the psychological target. So remember, guys, that I'm not saying that we're going there. That I'm saying that this has some zones that we could consider as invalidation zones for continuation. There really are a few of them here. This here is a very strong area of support as well. It's just I'm not catching the confluence between them as tight as I would love, right? So that's creating a little bit of a problem there, but it's okay. As long as we know the general area, right? As long as we know that general area, then we'll be able to kind of understand things. So should there be a downside, this area here of around 229.70 to 226.79 could very, very clearly be used as an invalidator for the continuation. So otherwise, there could be some kind of a bear trap at these targets if it is that we even start a downside, which we're going to validate, right? So let's just kind of play. Yeah, let's put the triggers on them. Let's put the receipts on these. And should it be that we have the play, then we'll have them ready. But if it's not going to play, then we'll just get rid of them and everything will be cool, right? So let's just put them on like that. This would be that massive liquidity bottom, or the actual the actual play being realized. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and determine volatility versus momentum. Let's take it, right? We want to be here. We want to do this as quickly as possible. Okay, so nice little. See the formation on this, guys? You see how it's. I'm not saying that it's going to happen here, but this is an inverse head and shoulders. I know it's a 30-minute time frame. It's not the best in the world, but still, right? You have an inverse head and shoulder being kind of birthed here on a downside. This is the way that you would get a symptom of retracement or reversal. That's the way you would do it, right? But in this case here, you're observing this gigantic head and shoulders on the downtrend. So that's that does have room for invalidation, and it could send things the opposing way. So if we are actually within a formation that can send price action back up, then let's see if that's an actual possibility here. So let's bring this thing down to absolute granular levels. Super, super grainy here, right? We're going to pick out that 2-minute time frame closing in around 44 seconds, looking still a little bearish for continuation. So that means that your 1-minute time frame is downside. Continuing into the 2-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute still has that downside. Yep. 5-minute, still, wow, 20-minute time frame. Yeah, looking okay. Let's see. Oh, would that be it? Maybe. Hold on. I would say just about 3 hours of downside to be more secure. And that may be done. So 3 hours of downside mean that we get around 6 cents from the opening of that 3-day bar at 242. We're sitting at 240 with a low of around 240.73 with a low of around 240.43. Your current ATR low would be 236 on this. Could it have that power to reach the 236? It's resisting at a pretty, supporting actually, at a really nice area. And I will be honest, there is one more zone where it could retrace and find a pretty nice bounce from too, right around that 239. I guess 239 and 240.64 is okay. So if it does find that bottom side, guys, that means that we potentially close somewhere around there too, or within about 15 minutes. I'm saying when this clock here reaches around 15 minutes, this may get a retrace to its 50%, which is locked in to be, it's high confluence here, right around the areas of 241.88. So yeah, potential downside, 239s, maybe even that 240.64. Retrace to the upside here, 241.88. The 3-hour continues to the up, 4-hour up, and we would have just around 6 hours of upside. And that means, that we could be seeing an inverse head and shoulders. It's a red inside bar though, not the best. So let's see. Yeah, if this comes up to roughly that 241.82, your 6-hour time frame would already be pushing things back up for the immediate short term. I expect the 243.55 from that low. 243.55 would drop 12 daily, 2-day, 3-day. Let's see. Yeah, just hold on. Those are okay, let's just say that it did drop 2 days of downside. That would be around 24 cents. So this would bring it down to about 217.68. So that would be roughly, isn't that the target that we were looking for ish? I'm going to draw it here and I'm just going to put it in a different color. Let's leave it on a bright red. Okay, now the upside would start from there. So that would be 2, 3, 4, man. Weekly top on a 50% retrace from 17. If it got that, it would be back up to this level here. Then you get 44 cents up. What? Okay, guys, there may be a little bit of trouble here, and the invalidations are actually the way I'm saying. I really do believe that we have invalidations where I'm speaking of. Check it out. So this was the red target at 217. I was talking about true targets being around 213 to around 208, but invalidation criteria could start at 229.82 to 226.67. This is where I believe your, what was it again? I think it was your biweekly, or I think it was a 2-day, right? Yeah, your 2-day time frame would actually open up probably in those lows. Who knows? So if that's the case, guys, yeah, I think we're going back up towards the same targets that we have up here, the 265s, and if it opens up the 2-day time frame in a later resistance, that means that we're getting back up to the 288s and 290s. But so far, yeah, I'm gonna stick to this plan even still, and heads up, because there could be a probable bear trap located right at this point here. Please remember, team, that I'll never ever reach out to you. I'll never ask you for your crypto. I'll never ask you for anything. I'm not going to friend request you first. I will never message you first or approach you. So know that whomever you're talking to is probably fake. All right, guys. So if any questions, please go ahead and reach out to me at arcabulls@gmail.com. Please make sure to join the Arca Bulls trading team and get your 9-week mentorship coming up, guys. The master students for the beginners are actually going to be done just about tomorrow. So this is it for them, and I will be restarting the beginners again. Okay, so remember, those seats get taken up pretty quickly, so please make sure to get your butts enrolled as soon as possible. Well, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. I will talk to you guys very, very just scary later. All right, team? Adios, everybody, and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.